So we created a custom attribute, title and description, and it comes with an error message that we created here as well. However, we can actually override it on our class level right here. And first of all, we don't need to call this title and description attribute because the word attribute can be omitted. Just like when we have a controller, the word controller can be omitted as well. So even though we have our message already part of the title and description attribute, we can specify that we want a different one on this class, for example. So we will simply use error message parameter and specify here what error message we want. And let's just say title must be different from description. An error message like this can be added also to built-in attributes. So for example, for required, we can specify an error message right there. So if user does not include title, we can simply say, instead of the built-in message, that the title needs to be filled in. And the same for the maximum length, for example, for the title. We can specify that we want 200 characters only, and if it is not, if it's more than that, then we have a custom error message that the title needs to be up to 200 characters. And I'm gonna copy this because we can add similar message to our description, except this one will of course say that the description cannot be more than 400 characters. So these are our custom messages that override the built-in messages as well as our own messages for our custom attribute. So let's run this. And first, let's try long title and description. And we get a bad request, and here are our custom error messages. Title needs to be up to 200 characters and description up to 400 characters. Now I'm going to omit title altogether and leave a long description. So let's make title null. And we get the title needs to be filled in message, as well as the title needs to be up to 400 characters. This should say, of course, description. I just made a mistake here when I did not change title to description for our description property. But it's the same message. And now let's make the title and description the same. So I will simply use some title for both title and description. And send this. And our error message now is the title and description need to be different. So that is our error message from the class album for creating DTO, overriding our original message that we had for the title and description attribute. Alright, so we have some validation in place, and next let's start updating the resources.